Do you ever have something that's technically done? The task is complete, the email was sent, the deliverable was sent out, the Asana task was checked right off, and yet something feels unfinished. You're not sure. You don't know if the client saw it, you don't know if it landed, you're not sure if it's actually complete. That's not overthinking. It's not overanalyzing. That's an open loop. Welcome to Trust Leaks, where we uncover the small breakdowns that quietly erode trust in your business. I'm Sandra Martini, and today we're talking about one of the most overlooked forms of follow-through breakdown. It's not when things don't get done. However, it's when they never fully get closed. Because in business, there's a difference between work being completed over here and work being confirmed, aligned, and finished over here. And that gap between the two of them, that's where trust starts to slip. In this episode, we're going to break down what an open loop actually is, when done, often isn't truly done, and how to close loops so nothing lingers, stalls, or creates doubt. Let's start with what's an open loop? It's anything that has been started or even completed without a clear, confirmed finish. See, it looks like you sent the proposal, no confirmation that it was reviewed. You complete the work, no shared understanding that it was finished, whether with team members or with clients. You answer the question, no clarity that it actually resolved whatever the issue was. Everything moves forward, nothing, or mostly nothing, or pieces of nothing actually lands. And over time, those open loops start stacking. And the more they stack, the more trust erodes. See, then there's the illusion of done. Most teams define done as I did my part, task was checked off, we're good. That's task completion. That's not loop closure. See, closing those open loops requires confirmation, alignment, acknowledgement. Without those, even though the work may be complete, the experience is not. And let me give you a quick example just from yesterday. So, one of my clients has someone editing videos. Wonderful. And she's editing away, getting things done. Notice the phrase getting things done. So she's getting things done. However, she's not telling anybody. So she's completing the edits on video one. She puts them in the folder and she moves to her next video without ever communicating. So the rest of the team is sitting here, tapping their fingers, going, what's the holdup with these videos? There was no holdup. There was just a lack of follow through communication. The loop wasn't closed to say they were done. Okay. So, where do these open loops often show up? They're everywhere. I'm sorry to say, once you start looking, client communication, emails sent without confirmation of the next step or what the next step actually is, or confirmation that the client understands the next step. Project delivery. Work is completed without a defined this is finished moment. So in the video editing example I just shared, that this is finished moment is a simple email task update, depending on what task management system you use. We use Asana. So if I was doing that, I would have said video one completely edited and uploaded to folder blank with a link. Okay, that is as finished as an editor could be when it comes to this. Internal handoffs, passed around without ownership of the outcome. Okay, decision making, conversations or meetings that end without a clear one resolution, two ownership for whoever's going to move that resolution or solution forward. There's no overt friction. There's no, oh my goodness, we failed at this. There's none of that. It's just no closure. And we've talked plenty of times about the little niggling thoughts going on in our head. This is one of those because it's an open loop. So I will often say on a call with a client or with my team, let's close that loop. Let's close that loop just to get people in the habit of thinking, oh, there's still some, the circle of this project is like this. It's not quite complete. Let's close the loop. and then we can move it fully to the done pile. So let's think about why, with all the tasks, all the projects, all the things, why do these open loops happen? It's not motivation. People want to get their job done. It's a system gap. See, most processes are built around doing the work, identify the work, do the work. They're not tied into closing the loop. There's no defined step for confirming understanding or completion, validating that someone gets it, finalizing the outcome, where the last step of every process should be something along those lines. Back to our video editor. The final step should have been upload note to Asana stating video edits are complete. Final video is stored at folder name with a link to the folder. Okay, now everybody gets it. So, what's the impact? What's the impact of all of these things? The impact, quite simply, is that the loop stays open. And when the loop stays open and everyone is assuming that the loop is closed, we have trust impact. When it comes to trust, open loops create a very specific type of friction. Okay, let's talk clients first. The clients feel uncertainty. They feel hesitation. They feel the need to follow up because they're unsure. Teams, on the other hand, teams feel unclear. They feel wondering. They feel reactive. They're pulled in multiple directions. Is it done? Is it not done? I think it's done. It's checked. It must be done. And the leaders, on the other hand, they feel the need to check everything. They need to step in late. They have this sense that nothing's fully being handled. And they're like, what about, what about, what about, what about? And the team's like, did that a week ago, but nobody knew. Okay, so nothing's broken technically, and yet trust is still eroding on all sides with your clients, with your team, with your internal leadership. And then there's the shift. Stop asking, is this done? Start asking, is this closed? We talked about the circle. Most people leave it as done at this. Close the circle. Is that loop closed? And a closed loop is simple, clear completion, clear communication, clear confirmation, kind of the three C's. And yet everyone involved will then know this is finished. It's aligned. We are complete with this particular task or project. And this sounds like it can be incredibly time consuming. It's not. In fact, it's not only not incredibly time consuming, it will save you so much time because no one's going, did you do it? Did you not do it? Where is it? I can't find it. All that back and forth, whether it's internal between the team, between the leader and the team, between the client and the team, or the client, and there's so many different ways that that can go back and forth and on and on and on. When a simple final video is in this folder, here's the link, make sure all the relevant parties are on the task, done. So let's look at how to close loops. Three simple things. One, define what done actually means. So not just task completion, but final outcome. Video editing, final outcome is video is in the correct folder. Everybody has a link to the folder. Done. Build in a confirmation step. Never assume the other person received, understood, or agreed. This is particularly important for two things: anything said in a meeting. So you always want to make sure a summary goes out. And two, anything that's just in an email. There have been times when I have emailed a client that I have had for 10 years, or the client has emailed me and it's ended up in one of our spam folders. So never assume, always confirm that something was received. Even if it's just a quick line, can you shoot me a note back and confirm you got this? That's it. And then assign ownership of the closure, not just the execution, not all the steps, not the completion, but who makes sure that it's closed. That may or may not be the same person responsible for the task or for the project. You see, work isn't complete when it's done, it's complete when that loop is closed. If you want to find where open loops are in your business pretty quickly, here's what you can do. First, look for where clients are following up asking for updates. Open loop. Second, team members revisiting the same work. Third, you're feeling the need to double check outcomes. Did it get done? I recently was reviewing some virtual assistant invoices for a client of mine. They wanted to know what could be streamlined. And when I dug not into the invoice, but into the timesheet behind it, I saw that some tasks were being touched 7, 8, 9 times. And it was all because the loops weren't closed. Okay, so it can really save time and add up, both from a trust factor and also from a financial. In this case, they paid several hours that wouldn't have needed to have been paid if loops were closed. No fault of the VA, no fault of the client. It's all with the system gap. Most trust leaks, as we've discussed, they don't come from big failures. They come from these small, incomplete, inaccurate moments, the message that didn't land, the deliverable that wasn't confirmed, a step that never fully felt or was finished. Individually, small. They're all just this little one, this little one, this little one. But when you put them all together, they create doubt, they stack. And when doubt builds, trust slips. If this episode made you realize how many things in your business might be sitting in that almost done category, that's the work. Because closing loops isn't about doing more, it's about finishing what's already in motion with clarity and with certainty. If you want to go deeper into identifying where trust is leaking inside your business, I've created something to help. It's a complimentary trust leaks diagnostic, and it walks you through the exact places where breakdowns tend to happen: communication, process, follow through, ownership, and experience. You can take it, get a clear picture of where your biggest gaps are right now. Just head over to the link in the show notes to take the Trust Leaks diagnostic. And if you know someone who's doing the work, showing up, following the processes, but things still aren't landing or they feel like things aren't quite complete, be sure to send them over to this episode because the issue may not be the effort. It may be that nothing is truly closed. As a final reminder, open loops create doubt, closed loops build trust. And please remember to like, follow, or subscribe to be notified of future episodes. Bye for now.